The mysterious death of 7-month-old baby Ethan Muendo at Shalom Community Hospital in Machakos has taken a new twist after an autopsy report revealed a new finding that the infant suffered internal bleeding in the brain prior to his death. An autopsy report that was released by a team of pathologists led by Kenyatta National Hospital Dr. Daniel Zurlel affirmed that there was a small hemorrhage at the surface of the brain which was occasioned by a rupture of a vessel.
There are variable causes, and in this case, we can't pinpoint. We still go back to toxicology, the chemical analysis to know there are many chemicals, and a chemical in the blood easily can lead to raised pressure. The other things would be lack of oxygen for whatever reason, or would lead to that, or lack of blood supply into the brain would also lead to that. As well as injury. If you got injury in the brain, in the head, you would still get that significant swelling.
But in this particular case, you cannot clearly pinpoint what caused the raising of the pressure.
Let me answer you with an example. Raised intracranial pressure, we can rule out injury. There's no evidence of injury. We can rule out what we call stroke-like symptoms, whereby there is a significant bleeding or lack of blood supply and part of the brain is dead. Kept the brain in formalin, specifically so that it can harden in a way that we can dissect or operate it, go through the different sections of the brain and ascertain the changes that are observable. We have done that and finished. What we can confirm is that there is every evidence of raised pressure in the brain, what we call raised intracranial pressure, so that is quite evident. We had noted it earlier from the superficial examination, but now we can confirm there is. The other new finding we had not noted was that there is a small hemorrhage or bleeding at the surface of the brain. This most likely from a ruptured vessel, what we call a small vessel capillary. It's about 1.5 centimeter in diameter, and it's only in one place. The third thing that we have noted is that the vessels are quite congested. The vessels, particularly the lower brain, they are quite congested. That is, the blood was not moving possibly as fast or draining from the brain as fast. This could be purely a consequence of the raised pressure. And finally we have taken samples, microscopic small samples for laboratory testing, microscopy, and to form part of the histopathology report. So those are the findings we have found today. We have confirmed the presence of raised pressures in the brain, as well as the small hemorrhage that is there and the congestion. As a mechanism of death, usually when the pressures in the brain arise, there is a tendency now for the brain to do what? To compress the breathing and the respiratory centers. And that automatically leads to very sudden death or quick death. So those are our findings. We still condole with you, the bereaved, and we say poleni.
A report further informed that the infant suffered congestion of the vessels in the brain due to raised blood pressure.